Hello everyone, I'm Ross from Retro Dream Beam. I'm an eBay seller full-time. I've been doing this with my fiance Annetta for a couple years now. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm about to go into what we were shipping out today on Monday. So this is all the stuff from the weekend. This is about like on par with how many items we sell. So I don't know, some of the sales days were okay and other ones were better, but overall it was kind of just like average. But yeah, the first thing that sold was a Star Wars X-Wing TIE Punisher expansion pack. This thing is still sealed. This is like the first edition one. This one must have been like out of print for a long time or like usable in the game and a strong figure, because this one sold for $59.99. That's really expensive for like an X-Wing figure. I want to say they were normally between like $10 to like 30 or something. I think the starters were pretty cheap at some points, but yeah, $60 for that is really good. I was lucky to find some of the sealed X-Wing stuff, like literally lucky. All right, moving along, we have a really cool item. We have a Disneyland Chilling Thrilling Sounds of the Haunted House record. We got a bunch of free records from Annetta's mom. She was like helping someone, and then they were about to throw away like a couple hundred. I listed almost all of them, but like 20. I have like 20 left over. I just wanted there to be more space in the egg crates. I put them in like 4 egg crates. I don't plan for it to be like a permanent solution in my storage unit for selling stuff, because we generally don't really know anything about records. They're past our time and we weren't into the hobby ever. So $22 for this. Normally we get like $10 for the free record. So yeah, that's really awesome for this one. And it's cool because people are excited about Halloween. All right, moving along, we have a book, a military book. This one's on Napoleon right here. I think this was actually a combo order. Let me see what else this person got. Yeah, let me grab the other item too at the same time. So yeah, the military stuff's been popping off for us. I mean, in general, we still have a good amount of it. Today, there's a lot of military stuff and there's like a lot of books. I just realized at some point we transitioned just into a lot of magazines, catalogs, and books, which is okay. It was just interesting pulling stuff today. Sometimes it happens like slowly, like I'm just listing stuff and this is what's selling. In the Legions of a Napoleon, not of Napoleon. Right here, this is our hardcover military book. This is in good condition. You can take a look at it right there. So that was $12.99, and then they also bought this magazine, War Games Illustrated. What issue is this? Issue 417 from September 2022. I had another one of these, so I just went ahead and relisted. There's like a little crease in here, but overall it's in good condition. Yeah, it's just going to have like articles about people playing military miniatures, different rule sets, and then like paint jobs for these and different like advertisements for these. So this is pretty cool. They bought these 2 books. This one was $12, so $25 for these 2. That's awesome. I love the combo orders. All right, moving along, we have something that's interesting. This is Orchard Memo Game. It looks kind of junky for the average person. I'm not 100%, but I do think that this is a Haba. This is made by a board game publisher company called Haba. I used to see them at conventions all the time. They're kind of like one of the few brands at this point, actually it's the only one I can think of, that they actually design board games for like kids, like really young. I don't know if they go as low as 1 year old, but yeah, they'll go like 3 years old or higher and stuff like that. And since there's not that many people working on kids games, they sell a bunch. They also have like good quality, good art, good pieces that kids enjoy. They go through tests so they don't like swallow them and all that stuff like that. So yeah, this one's about like a bird orchard game. Obviously, I've never played this one. Yeah, but just to talk a little bit more about this, board games are kind of like, in general, they start out as this like family ordeal. I used to play board games and card games with my family. We would sit at a table and just play a bunch of stuff like Yahtzee, Monopoly, just stuff like that. But that's kind of like turned into all these more strategic games. I mean, they always had like strategic and war games back in the past, but now it's like really, you have these heavy, big games or campaigns. They have a lot of pieces, miniatures. They kind of lost the family touch that they were for. So that's why I will always grab Haba stuff, is because they are almost exclusively focused on that. And these sell well because there's still a lot of people who are board gamers that have kids that they want to kind of like eventually play their more strategic games when they grow up, but they still need to like kind of get them into the hobby. So yeah, this one sold for $22.50. I know a lot of people look at this, immediately their eyes would glaze over. They would bypass it. Nope, I see a Haba, I'm grabbing it. A really well-known board game company, $22.50. I'm not even sure if like a lot of people in board games know what Haba is, unless if they are like have a family and they're buying them for their kids. All right, moving along to something also kind of cool. This one's awesome. These are 2 little handcrafted, embroidered, like little oval portraits that you hang up on the wall. There's like the little husband mouse right here, and then there's the wife mouse right there. So really good, really well done. I think hand embroidered. We probably got this at like an estate sale or a thrift store or something like that. The pair sold for $20. So that's pretty good for something that's like a cool little piece of art. All right, next up is right here. This is a large double-decker French, like handmade miniature display thing. This thing is a couple inches by a couple inches right here. I'm not sure if you can see it. I have more of these. I got like a whole box of these. I want to say for like $20. I got like 30 of them or something. So yeah, they were almost 50 cents a piece, maybe a little bit more, like 75 cents or something. I'm doing bad math right now, but that's okay. Yeah, but these are well done. So I had another French one and the large double decker. I have like individual ones. There's like a British ship or something like that. These are well done. I knew someone would eventually appreciate these, and I had decent pictures on my listing. So yeah, this one sold for $35, and I got to relist another one at the storage unit. I made a little like, I used the tops of 2 white lids for my little boxes, and then I put it near where the light was coming through at the storage unit. Retook pictures just because they're handcrafted. So if there's any like different glue spots or details, I want to make sure that it's properly listed. So yeah, I relisted another one. All right, next up is another like historical book or military book. Let's see, Baltimore House and Gardens, Asheville, North Carolina. There you go. This is like an older one, kind of like vintage. I don't know much about this place or anything about this particular book, but yeah, we have a lot of books that we bought recently. So this sold for $9.37. They're really easy to ship, so it's going to be a good shipping situation for today. All right, next up is something Annetta got around to listing some stuff. This was something that I originally did not actually want to grab. This was given to us for free by Annetta's mom. She was going through stuff. She knows we eBay stuff. I talk about it a lot. This is Kirkland signature quitting smoking gum right here. I didn't even know if this is legal. I didn't really want to research it. And Annetta's like, no, we'll take it. And then she listed it. This was free shipping. So normally we don't do free shipping, but this packet sold for $62, but with free shipping. It's rare for us to do free shipping, but that's probably how you sell this type of thing. So I didn't do the listing. Annetta did it. And we have one more listed. So it's pretty cool that someone's going to try to quit smoking. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad for them. And yeah, it's kind of expensive, but yeah, I guess you get like 380 pieces of gum. So that's a lot, that's a lot of gum. All right. So moving along. So yeah, that was free, by the way. So it's cool. And I was the dumb one thinking that it wouldn't sell or not. I just didn't know how to deal with an item like that. All right, moving along. Battlefield Evolution Ultra Modern Tabletop Combat hardcover miniature book right here. This is by Mongoose Publishing. It's in fairly good condition. Yeah, this is probably like a hipster game. This is an advanced rule book right there. This one sold to a repeat buyer for $20, so they must have bought stuff from us before, either like miniature books, miniatures, RPG books, stuff like that. So that's really cool. I had like a lot of repeat buyers. I don't know if I missed any at this point. All right, moving along is some Lego bits and pieces that were going to be thrown out. I happened to run into the person last second before they were throwing them out, asked me if I wanted them. I said I would pay them a couple dollars for like everything, because it was just like a blind buy. It was like a box of Legos. It could have been like bugs and nasty stuff in there, so I couldn't really see too much in there. And then I also got like a poster. I haven't listed the poster yet, but these are, I took all the Legos and kind of broke them down into categories. At least that's how I'm usually more successful with it. These look to be like vintage car, like windshields that you would put on top of the cars and stuff, or spaceship stuff. So yeah, there's like 13 of them. This ended up selling for $14. So it's really cool. Someone probably knows like which cars these go to. I figured these would be more unique pieces, harder to find, because you probably only get like one per kit or something, rather than like a generic block where you can find them throughout multiple kits. But yeah, $14 for the set of Legos, which is pretty cool, because we bought it from someone who's going to trash it. All right, next up is, I sold these before, one of them before. These are two Girls of Chiodo like miniature figurines. These are gold convention editions, are limited to 1,000 each. There's a Bikini Babe right here. It's not like super lewd. And then there's a Jungle Girl right here. I did like a lot of two of these before. I think one of these I sold individually, like a Bikini Babe before. I just got like a bag or a bunch of them. These sold for $22. I had another pair of these two, so I already relisted it. I also used my little listing station that I made at the storage unit with the two box tops and the light coming in to just take pictures of a new listing for these two, just in case if there's a little bit of wear on the little hanger tab right here. So these sold for $22. I think they are either part of a comic book or like a comic book publisher. I'm not 100% sure. I talked about that last time. All right, next up is another military miniature book, God's Acre. These are going to be, it's like a rule set for medieval figures from 1000 to 1300 AD. It's just like, it's like kind of like a trade paperback. I always grab stuff like this. I know people enjoy the different miniature rule sets. It's basically buying like a rule book for what someone thought the stats of like a weapon would be or a person during this time would be. So people love this stuff. That's about the extent to what I know about it. I'm not like 100% sure on it, but I do grab these when I find them, especially from the person I get military books from, and this sold for $18. So that's pretty cool. Someone's going to appreciate this. Kind of has like a cool little cover. Sorry to bring it back here. There's some medieval knights battling it out. It has like a really nice, well, I put the plastic film over it, but it kind of has like a weird like linen or something feel to it. So they're going to probably be excited when they get their hands on it because it's like a really tactile item. All right, moving along, we have a PC manual. I love PC manuals. Sometimes I get a lot, sometimes I don't get too much. I thought this art was cool. Chessmaster 6000. This is for Windows 95, 98. Yeah, I just like this, just like the wizard playing chess. I don't have the shirt right now, but I have had it in a couple of videos. I also have a shirt. I think it's a wizard playing against a dragon on a chess table. I'll talk about when I wear the shirt if I think about it. But yeah, it's just cool. I like that particular wizard dragon. I love fantasy stuff. So yeah, this is cool. It's sold for $8.99. This is to a repeat buyer once again, which is fantastic. All right, moving along, we have something else that's interesting. Dread Tales of Terror, issue 2 of Precocious Illusions. Or yeah, I think so. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Precarious Illusions. Jeez, can't read today. All right, so yeah, these little RPG zines, books, yeah, they sell fairly often for us. This thing does look like hipster. It doesn't look like super branded. Maybe someone like self-published it. I always grab these things. I do find them in an uncommon amount, so not rare, not common. I don't know how to say that properly, but yeah, this sold for $14.99. I always do well with those. All right, next up is some miniatures. I haven't found miniatures in the wild in a while. These are some like infantry. This is kind of like an incomplete box. The cover's pretty cool. And then there's probably like, I don't know, 20% of the miniatures in there. So they're still good. Like it's still like a small amount of miniatures. So this sold $9 to a repeat buyer. So hopefully they saw it that this thing was like incomplete. But I think my pictures were well done. The only thing I messed up for this listing, because it was older one, I didn't put like incomplete in the title. I like to do that now because I did have issues in the past not describing stuff in the title, which I don't think you need to, and I don't think eBay necessarily likes it. I'm not 100% sure, but I just started doing it just to make sure I have less issues. But lo and behold, even if you put it in the title, even if your pictures are really good, and even if it's in the description, you can still have issues. But yeah, it sold for $9, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, speaking of like unique stuff, I have another, I think it's like a graphic novel. This one's pretty cool. The Arctic Marauder by Jacques Tardy, or Jax, I don't know. All right, there you go. This is it. This has like a scuba diver person or something on the front. It's like really steampunk, pirate-like, yeah, sci-fi. So yeah, it's a hardcover, really good condition. You can tell like the art is very detailed. The person put a lot of love into this. You can tell there's a lot of passion into this. I don't know anything about this. I saw it and I was like, ooh, I don't know it. Hipster. This sold for $35. So that's really good. All right, next up is a PC game, like a big box one, Airbucks version 1.2. Build your own airline right here. Yeah, you know, we love grabbing the big box PC games. Haven't found any in a while, which is sad. I do like listing and selling them. I don't have too many issues with them, even with codes, without codes, stuff like that. That's generally, they do well for us. So yeah, this is going to look nice in someone's bookshelf. They're probably going to play it. This is by a company called Impressions. There you go. This is like an older one. This one sold for $13.50. This is also by a repeat buyer, so they probably have bought stuff from us before. All right, next up is, I like this kind of stuff. This is a dice bag. This is going to be black felt on the outside and then like a purpley like cloth material in the middle right here. I don't know if you can see it. This one is 5 inches by 8 inches. So the interesting thing about dice bags is there's not really a company that I think of that sells dice bags. They generally are just kind of things like companies that make deck boxes will eventually make some dice bags. So I think the best dice bags you can kind of find are maybe like custom ones, probably on like Etsy or something like that. So when I see like a cool design dice bag, you have like board gamers that like it, especially role players for like Dungeons and Dragons, and any or all of the above. People like to have to carry their dice in a cool bag. They want it to feel nice, look nice. They might attach it to a character. So if their character does, like, let's just say purple spells or something, there's the purple inside here. They like to match that. People love to accessorize their tabletop gaming. So yeah, I knew this dice bag was cool. It only sold for $7, but this is just like literally like a cloth bag for $7 is pretty good. This is going to be like, this was like a throw in. It had some other stuff that I took out and listed. So yeah, a lot of people maybe would just toss it or something like that. But yeah, always keep your eye out for dice bags. And if they are better material, better quality, like the better it looks, you can just tell, you can get a lot of money for dice bags. But yeah, $7 for this one, not too bad for like, it was just basically a throw in because it had other stuff in it. All right, moving along, we have another military book. We have the East India Company. I think it's by Brian Gardner. There you go. It's a hardcover book right here. I don't know anything about this one, but like I said, we get a bunch of military books. This one sold for $11.99 to a repeat buyer, so lots of repeat buyers. That's always great. I've never had this many repeat buyers. All right, next up is an Ultra Pro Pathfinder Adventure card game deck box right here. It needs the Velcro part to be re-glued on. So both parts are on one edge and the other part needs to be just ripped off and like super glued back on. Either way, it's still a good deck box. It's going to hold like 260 to 80 card decks depending on the sleeve size and the card size that you put in here. But yeah, this is going to be particularly for this like campaign board game, a Pathfinder Adventure card game. I haven't played it yet. I know eventually if I find it cheap and if we have the time, we'll dig into it. But yeah, you're gonna be using cards. You're gonna play a character. You're gonna go through a bunch of campaigns and stories and level up your character. It's all done through cards. I think like the base game's just kind of like this big box, and I think some of the expansions are also gonna be like bigger boxes. It's been a bit. I don't know if it's still running. It looks like it's made by Paizo itself. I think. I could be wrong. But yeah, this sold for $7.19. I have another one of these deck boxes. Yeah, someone probably was gonna toss it out. That's probably why I bought it. Because they had like the broken Velcro, but it's still good. It's easy fix. I didn't do the fix. I was going to let someone else just do the fix. So yeah, $7.19. All right, moving along. I had a question for this one. This is World of Warcraft Wanted Hogger BlizzCon promo for the World of Warcraft trading card game. Super cool. I think this was like a demo or something that they were trying to get people into the game. You're going to have the little health tokens that you use in this card game. You're going to fight Hogger and you're going to have like a little hero deck and you're going to battle him and some of his minions. Hogger's like one of the first monsters, like main quests at like level 5 or 6 or something in World of Warcraft Classic, where if you're in the human territory, I think just the human territory, yeah, you go right out. Some gives you a quest to kill him because he's been like messing with people's sheep and stuff. So like really iconic character, Hogger. He's a null. This sold for $33.75. This is sealed. This card game is kind of cool because there's a lot of stuff that's worth money. There's also a lot of junk, but eventually they kind of have Hearthstone as like their mobile card game, which is kind of similar. Some of the stuff is similar. The main thing is the damage health counters stay on the characters, on the monsters, which also it stayed on the allies. I think they're called allies in this game. It's been a long time since I played this for a little bit. So $33.75. This is like a unique thing because it was given out at a BlizzCon, which is their convention. All right, moving along, we have another Marvel card. That you saw that we were selling a bunch of Marvel cards. I got really lucky with these. This is suspended animation Wolverine right here. I just already put it in the top loader. I shipped them with top loaders. But yeah, it's going to be Wolverine. It's going to have a lot of see-through stuff. You probably can't see through it right now just because I have the penny sleeve and top loader on it right now. But this sold to a repeat buyer who probably bought my other Marvel cards, let's be honest, for $6.99. All right, next up is kind of like another unique one. We had a lot of like cool, unique stuff. So this right here is going to be from $19.99. It is a king chess piece. A lot of detail. It's like ceramic. It's made by CBK. I'm not sure who that is, but yeah, this thing looked really cool. I think either Netta or I grabbed this at a thrift store. This one sold for $22.50. Someone's just going to like to have it out as like a cool little display on their table, on their desk or their shelf or something like that. So yeah, that's a cool one. Kind of like unique compared to what we normally sell. Next up is another combo order. We have 2 catalogs. Catalogs do really well for us. We got these from the people who are clearing out their storage unit next to us, or they have 3 storage units. Jamco Electronics catalog 213 August to October 2001. So yeah, there's a lot of cool different like electronics in this. I wish the cover popped a little bit more, but it's still sold. This one sold for $11.99. So people like to go through these old catalogs, and it was in good condition. And they also got Mauser Electronics catalog 606. So yeah, this one's also going to have a lot of different like electronic bits and pieces to like fix up your stuff, your computer, your phones. old school stuff, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool that someone's like appreciating this one. I have to scroll down a little bit for $14.99. So yeah, they spent $27 for the 2 catalogs, which is pretty good for those. It's already getting our money back from buying we bought a bunch of like books and magazines from them. So yeah, I've been digging into it. It's just they're heavy. Yeah, it's just like issues for me organizing at the storage unit right now, which is why I haven't listed all of them, or else I would. They're easy to list. All right, moving along, we have a miniature kit. It's been a while, like I said, since we got like a plastic model or miniature kits. So we still have like our stragglers from the ones we bought before. This is a Sky Raider A1E or AIE. There you go. I don't know anything about planes, so sorry if I butchered that right there. But yeah, this is going to be they call it the flying dump trunk, apparently. Originally a Navy bomber and later used by the Air Force for ground support. There you go. There's the history, just read straight off from the box. This is by a company called Monogram. I always grab model kits. I think this one is still complete. It was still, all like the bits and pieces were out, but I took a picture of everything. So I think I like visually looked at it and it looked like pretty good, as long as it has like all of the main bits and pieces to put the like shell together of it. But yeah, this sold for $22.50. All right. Next up, we have only 2 more items. We have, or I guess three more items. All right, this is going to be Let's Hang and Read. This is a Slow Readers Club Kindle or iPad, just basically like cover. So this is like what you would put your Kindle or iPad in to protect it, to make it look cute when you're traveling. This is a very, very old listing. I could tell what bin it was in. I had to actually like dig in my brain. I'm like, oh, what's the SKU? I was like, I hope I can find it quickly, which I did. It was in just like in a weird part in the storage unit as well. But yeah, I can tell by our backdrop and the table we used this on. This was like from years ago, $7.50. So I don't know how much we paid for it, if it was the best buy, but hey, we don't delist stuff generally unless if it's broken, and it sold for $7.50. And then the last thing is Warhammer 40K Codex Demon Hunters. I'm not sure how you say this. So this is probably going to be like an older edition. That doesn't matter. People still pick up this stuff. And it's interesting because I found a lot of people into like Warhammer stuff. They generally only care about like exactly what's new. And I think they don't realize that people do really enjoy the old stuff. Not everyone has like a stack, a lot of cash to just like upgrade it into the next like edition and stuff like that. I mean, the books are still legit. The rules are still legit. Sometimes someone might just want to be playing with their friend. They're being nostalgic. They remember the rules from whatever edition. They don't care about the new stuff. Or they can care about multiple editions at the same time. But I notice I sell this stuff pretty well, and I noticed I usually get this from people who are into these games, but the current edition. This sold for $15.19. It's still good. I know like a lot of the Warhammer stuff gets pretty expensive, but yeah, I still do well selling the old stuff. All right, and then the last thing, I think this was on Bonanza right here. It's just another platform that Annetta completely does all the work for, and she like cross-lists everything. This is a Bionicle. I don't have the listing in front of me because I don't have the app. It's like Paraka or something like that. Paraka. There you go. It's like purple or blue or something like that. So I got a bunch of Bionicles, like a bag for a couple of dollars. I just matched up the catalog that shows, or like the instruction booklet that shows all the pieces. They generally don't have too much pieces. And then I lined them up, took a picture. This one was complete, just no box. And then I don't know how much this one sold for. It probably sold between $10 to $20, and it's probably more like 12 to 14. There's also like fees and stuff like that. But yeah, that's where that one sold at. So that is everything for the weekend. I feel a little bit rusty because we like missed the video. Our Friday stuff, we just had to like get it shipped out. Had no time to like record. We barely had time to like pack and ship it. Sourced at a couple places, personal places, so can't really record it. And I don't have a good setup for recording. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help support us, take a look at our shop down below. But yeah, we're back for the week.